Hey guys, Giancarlo Bodoni here. I'm a brown belt under Lucas Lepri, world champion no-gi, silver medalist in the gi as a brown belt. And guys, when I started training, I always had a passion for takedowns. And one of my favorite takedowns, if not my favorite takedown, is the single leg takedown. And after years of training, both formally and informally, wrestling throughout my jiu-jitsu, I was able to pick up some things that made my single leg, one of my most high percentage takedowns, both in tournaments and in training. So my goal with this DVD is to show you guys, the ins and outs of the single leg, to show you guys setups from single legs, both from standing and from the ground, show you how there's a lot of ways that we can get really easy sweeps using the single leg takedowns, and also show you guys how to finish the takedown, the different ways that I like to finish the single leg takedown. Os guys. The first setup that I want to show you guys for the takedown is going to be from standing, okay, from the single leg. So usually when we're fighting in jiu-jitsu, the first grip that I'm going to make is going to be on my partner's collar on the same side. So usually you're going to go with your dominant hand on the collar, right? And the way that I like to set this up is, so I'm here standing, right? I'm going to use my cross grip to push the guy's gi open, right? So I'm going to come here and I'm going to come on the inside of the gi and push it open. As I open the gi, I come on top with this grip here, okay? And now the guy's natural reaction most of the time is, as soon as I come here to grip his collar, the guy's going to come and want to grip my collar, okay? So what I'm going to do here is, before he grips my collar, so I'm here, I come, 1, 2, and as soon as I make this grip, I'm already anticipating the guy's going to grab my collar. So I come in, he goes to grab it, I block, and I can control this hand here, okay? So now we're going to be in this position here, okay, standing. So what I need to do here is, if the guy has this leg back, okay, I need to force him to bring this leg forward. So I'm going to take a step back with my left leg, okay? But I'm not going to take a step back like this, right? I want to take a step back, just pulling his leg forward, like so, okay? As soon as his leg comes forward, what I have to do is I need to drop my front knee to the outside of his foot, as close to his foot as possible. So again, we were here, I open, 1, 2, he goes to grab, I can grab his wrist, or I can control the cloth of his gi. Now I force him to take a step forward. As soon as he takes the step forward, I'm going to drop my knee to the floor, and at the same time that I drop my knee to the floor, I need to pull his collar down, but I'm going to kind of keep my arm tense, and as I drop to my knee, my weight's going to bring down the collar, right? So I'm going to do this, okay, and he's going to drop down, okay? Once I do this, so he's forward, once I pull his leg forward, I'm going to drop my knee and I'm going to hug the leg as tight as I can. Okay, you see how I break his posture down here? So this is probably like one of my favorite ways to finish, or to set up and finish the single leg. Okay, so as soon as I hug the leg here, what I want to start doing is, as I've broken his posture down, the gi is right here. So what I do is, as soon as I hug the leg, I make a grip on the inside of the gi like this. So I have 2 grips, okay, on his lapel. Okay, it looks almost like a baseball bat grip, right? So I'm holding right here on the lapel. I want to make sure that when I have the takedown, I keep my eyes forward. I don't want to keep my head down, okay? Because a lot of times guys try to defend the single leg by pushing the head down, right? So I want to make sure that I keep my head right here, my forehead right here on his chest, okay? And I keep my grip strong, and make sure that my eyes are forward. As soon as I get here, right, as soon as I make my grips, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push off of my back foot to drive him forward. I want to get his weight on that leg here, like that. So as soon as I drive forward, then I can start to stand up, okay? Sometimes what happens is, as I drop my knee and I come here, I see a lot of people, they start doing this. And then they try to pick the leg up. But the guy's going to start keeping the leg very, very heavy, kind of sprawling back almost. It's hard for him to sprawl the way because of the way that I'm gripping his gi. My grip's very strong. But, if I just try to stand up like this and he starts to put his leg heavy, sprawl your leg back a little, yeah, it's going to be really hard for me. I'm using all my back strength. So I want to make sure that once I drop my knee, his leg goes in front, I pull the collar down, I sag the collar, and I drop my knee and hug the leg. Once I make my grip, look how this leg came back. I'm gonna push off my toes, get his weight there, and then start coming forward. Okay, and then we're gonna finish right here, okay, with the 2-on-1 grip on the lapel, like so. So now look, once I get to this position, notice how like I have my forehead right here on his chest. I have my grips 2-on-1 on the collar. Now to finish, the most simple way that I finish this takedown, and the one that I find easiest, is I need to get his weight going one direction. So I need to get him defending to one direction and then take him immediately to the opposite side. So I'm gonna wanna take him down to my left side. So I'm here, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna first fake like I wanna go right, force him to step. Now I'm gonna walk backwards and make my chest very heavy and take him down here, and we finish immediately in a really good passing posture, okay? Good passing position. So once again, we're here. I'm gonna go across, so my left hand will go across to his left lapel. Cross, open the lapel, then this hand comes over. As soon as I come here to make this grip, I know he's gonna wanna grip. Immediately block. You can hold the wrist, you can hold the gi, right? If sometimes the guy makes the grip here, we just wanna try to break this grip. Okay, so I'm gonna push and break his grip. Okay, and then push his hand down so he can't regrip. So what am I gonna do? If his front leg, or if his left leg, the same side that I'm holding the sleeve, is not in front, I need to make him step forward. Okay, I don't want to make him step forward by doing this, right? Because if I step this leg back, then I have to step forward again. So what I'm gonna do is, as I'm here, I'm just gonna pull him forward. I'm gonna almost step back with both legs, forcing him to take a step forward. As soon as he comes here, he's gonna be like a little bit postured. I need to break his posture when I drop my knee. So I drop my knee to the floor, right next to the foot on the outside. As I drop my knee, you guys are gonna notice I'm gonna pivot on my knee as well. So I'm not just dropping my knee and staying in front of him, okay? I'm dropping my knee, I'm breaking his posture down, and I'm pivoting. So I'm kind of at an angle with him. Okay, so once I'm here, I drop my knee, watch how I pivot. You see how I come to the side? And then my grip's right here. Okay, push off of your back toes, get his weight going that way, then you can start to stand up very easy. Okay, once we get right here, his legs between my legs, I have 1 and 2. Okay, so I make this grip right here. As soon as I get right here, I'm gonna take him this way first. Okay, it's hard for me to take him down this way because, you know, he has the hand to post, so he's gonna be able to defend. On this side, it's harder for him to defend. But I don't wanna show him that I wanna take him to this way right away. So I'm gonna start taking him this way first. As soon as he steps, I make my chest very heavy. Okay, so I walk back and I put my chest heavy and I put him down, almost like I'm swinging a hammer to the ground. And then we finish right here in a really strong passing position. Okay, so we already have the grip on the collar and we can start transitioning into some passes there. So one more time, full speed. I'm here, open, make my grip, block his grip, force him to step, drop, pivot, push. I come here, I go 1, 2, and then I finish on top. All right, guys. So the next one that I want to show you guys is gonna be, okay, when my partner already has like good grips on me. Okay, so once I'm here, right, I'm gonna make my grip on the collar, 1, and then before the guy, you know, grips my collar, usually I want to be able to block it, right? Because I don't want to let the guy have a strong collar grip on me. Because, you know, if he has a strong collar grip on me and I try to shoot in, it's going to be really hard. He's going to block me, right? So what I want to start doing is, let's say, you know, my partner gets a grip on me and then we end up in this situation, right? Where we have 1 collar, 1 sleeve, which is really common. We see this all the time in jiu-jitsu. So, you know, I've allowed him to make a grip, okay, on my collar. This is going to be hard for me to break sometimes. So what I'm going to start doing is, if I'm not able to break his grip here, I'm going to start coming with this hand that's holding the tricep or the sleeve on this arm, and I'm going to come around. He's holding my gi. I'm going to hold, you know, right here on his, the seam of his sleeve, right? So I'm going to control right here on the bottom of his sleeve. Once I'm here, what I want to start doing is, I'm going to let go of this grip on the collar. I'm going to pull my elbow back to break his grip on my tricep. right? So he was gripping right here on the seam, like so. I pull my elbow back. Now, I don't want to turn all the way, like too far around where I expose myself. So I want to just pull my elbow back very quickly. So I'm going to let go of the collar, and I'm going to pull my elbow back very quickly, and I'm going to push down on his gi, like so. Once I get here, I'm going to drag this arm across my body, and this grip, I'm going to look in this hand, I'm going to look for a grip on his back, okay? I don't like to grab the belt, so I'm going to come around. I drag the arm across. I put my head on his chest here, and I'm going to make a grip here on his back. I don't like to grab the belt because the belt sometimes is loose and it's going to start moving, okay? So try to make a grip on the gi here. So now look, if the guy just stays right here, okay, he's going to give me the chance to take this leg here. So I pulled his arm across. I'm going to just start pushing him forward and drop down to this leg. Okay, once I get here, I'm going to connect my hands like so. Okay, so I drop down. I'm in the same position as before, except now my grips are different. So since I don't have a collar grip, I'm not going to be able to feed the collar. So once I come here, I'm going to connect my hands like this. The hand that goes around his leg from the outside, so the one that's in between his leg, is going to be palm facing down. The other one's going to be palm facing up. Okay, so I'm going to make a gable grip where I connect my hands without using my thumbs, so like so, and I'm going to connect my hands like this, okay, and pull my elbows in tight to my body. If my grip's opposite, and he comes over and grabs my wrist, he can pull up and break my grip very easily, okay, because of the way that my grips are. So I want to do the exact same grip, except this hand will be palm facing down, the other one's going to be palm facing up. See how I keep my thumbs connected to my hands? I'm going to go palm to palm and grip right here. Okay, same concept. My toes on the mat, the toes behind me, and then my forehead pushing on the chest, and my eyes always forward. I get his weight onto that leg. Once his leg becomes light, I start standing up and I finish right here. Okay, now we can do the exact same finish as before. Sometimes what we can even do, start opening the lapel here, okay, and start passing it to the hand, and we can start setting up the same one as the first one. But I like to finish from right here. Okay, you already have your grips. So we're gonna do the exact same finish, except it's gonna be a little bit modified because I don't have the lapel to manipulate his posture. Okay, so as I'm here, okay, make sure you keep your back straight, eyes forward. I'm gonna use my shoulder to put pressure on his thigh, like so, forcing him to step. Then I'm gonna come back the other way. Chest heavy, and we finish with one leg in, one leg out in a strong passing position again. Okay? So we're here. My partner, we make these grips, right? As soon as I get these grips, okay, and let's say I'm not able to break my partner's grip, okay, so I have a really hard time breaking this collar grip. He has a strong grip, so I end up right here. This hand, the one that's holding his sleeve, I'm gonna come around, I'm gonna hold right here on the bottom of his sleeve, and then I'm gonna push down. So I wanna make sure that I push his grip straight down, and my elbow's gonna come straight back. And don't hold on to the collar, let go. Very quick. This arm comes across, this other arm comes around his back, and my head goes right here in front of the shoulder. Like so, okay? So once I'm here, in this position, what I'm gonna start doing is, as soon as I get to this one, I start pushing him forward, and as I push forward, I drop to my knee. And I connect my hands like so. Connect your hands, make sure the hand that's going in between the legs is gonna be palm facing down. Super important. Okay, so if he fights your hands, it's much harder for him to break the grip, all right? Because it's stuck. If I go this way, he's gonna pull it out and break it easily. Okay, so I wanna make sure I'm like this. Same thing, so I wanna make sure I push with my forehead, drive off of my back foot, get his weight going that way, and then I stand up. Okay, once I'm here, I use my shoulder in my partner's thigh, right here on the outside of his, like almost on his hip. So as I'm here, I go 1, and then 2. And I'm gonna be able to put him down. And I like to finish always in this position here. So that's why I like the single leg, because you keep the leg trapped. Once you take your partner down, you finish in a strong position to start going for your passes. Okay, so again, my partner's gonna make grips. We're gonna be right here, okay? It's super common. We see this all the time in tournaments and training. okay? So once he gets to this grip, he has a strong grip on my collar, okay? I'm not able to break it. This hand is gonna come underneath. I'm gonna control his opposite sleeve, okay? Once I control the opposite sleeve, I pull my elbow back. Remember, don't turn super hard. It wants to be almost like very quick, like a snap, okay? I push and pull. Now this hand goes to the back of my ear, right in front of his chest, okay? And I make my grip here, okay? As soon as I make this grip, I start pushing him forward. Keep pulling the arm tight, okay? And then my knee's gonna drop. So as I get him going forward, I drop. And my hands connect right away. Once I get here, tight, make sure that your head is always close to your partner's body. So nice and tight. Head back straight, eyes looking forward. And I'm gonna drive off my back foot, stand up, and I end up right here. Watch how I'm gonna use my shoulder in the hip. So I go here, one, and then I come back, make my chest heavy, and take him down to the opposite side. The next one that I want to go over is going to be from the exact same gripping sequence that we had. So I'm here with my partner, right? I'm going to set up my grips the exact same way, but my partner makes a grip on the collar, okay? So my partner makes the grip on the collar, and he makes the grip on my sleeve, okay? And then I have the exact same grip as him, right? So we're in the exact same setup. And then I'm going to do the same thing like from the last technique. So remember, if I'm able to break this grip by posturing up and pushing his arm back, either controlling here, however you like to break grips. If I'm able to get rid of this grip, right, just go for the first one, right? We have the leg in front. We can shoot for this traditional one, right? But I'm not able to break this grip, right? His grips are strong. His base is strong. So I want to make sure that I don't waste my energy trying to insist on breaking his collar grip, right? So once I get here, what I like to do is, as we saw before, come underneath and control right here with my forefingers, the seam right here along the bottom of his sleeve. So once I control right here, I'm gonna pop my elbow back and push down, like so. And then I use this exact same grip right here to pull his arm across my body, okay? And as I get his arm across my body, at the same time, I'm gonna put my head right here on his chest. So my right ear, is gonna come up close to his chest, and then this arm is gonna come around, okay, and I'm gonna start looking for the back. So now look, of course, if my partner stays right here, I'm gonna be able to attack this near leg. But a lot of times what happens is, one, I'm here, okay, I'm nice and tight with him, okay, and he knows that like his back is being exposed, okay, so what he's gonna start doing, he's gonna start circling this way, right? He's gonna kind of move his hip forward and start circling, and sometimes it's gonna be hard for me to maintain this, okay, if he starts circling, pretty hard. So once I get here and I'm controlling, as he starts circling, watch what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch sides. So my left leg, this leg here, is gonna switch. I'm gonna drop my knee right towards his far leg. And I'm gonna pivot exactly the same way that we did in the first one, right? And I'm hugging this leg. I'm gonna connect my hands with the gable grip, without using my thumbs, this hand palm facing down. Connect my hands, push off my back toes. Make sure your forehead is tight against your partner's upper body and your eyes are looking straight. So when I push, I come up and I finish right here, okay? Once I finish here, keep his leg nice and tight. I'm gonna use my shoulder in his hip to get him going that way. Once I get him moving this way, I'm gonna immediately switch, stepping back with my left leg, putting my chest very heavy to take him down to the opposite side. So again, I'm going one way, and then I take him the other way. So I was here, connect my hands. I'm gonna take him one way with my shoulder and immediately switch to the other side and then finish right here on top, okay? So let's break it down. Once I'm here, we have our grips, right? Okay, so I get to the exact same setup as before where I break this grip on the sleeve, pop my elbow back, push down the arm, drag his arm across my body. At the same time, I drag the arm across my body. My head goes right here on the chest. My ear stays connected tight, okay? And then I'm gonna grip his back, like so, okay? So this is a really strong position for me, okay? And he knows that, okay? So what he's gonna start doing is gonna start kind of putting the hips back. Yes, exactly. So this makes it really hard for me to stay hanging on. Even if I have my grips here, it's like kind of hard for me to get what I want. So I want to kind of like go towards his back. As he starts putting his hips back and walking in a circle, I'm gonna have to switch directions. Okay, so I'm gonna have to step out and I drop this knee on the ground. Once I drop this knee on the ground, watch how my weight's on my knee. I'm gonna immediately pivot my entire body. So I'm gonna pivot my entire body. I was facing this way when I dropped my knee. My head stays in front of my partner. So just turn this way a little bit. My head's, I'm facing this way. My head's gonna stay in front of my partner. I drop my knee and I pivot on that exact knee. So I was here, I dropped the knee, and I pivot. Now I'm facing the other direction. My head's still in front of him. Okay, so that's important. So when you go, make sure you don't drop this knee, and then keep your head on this side. Okay, so I see a lot of people trying to hold the leg like here. Make sure you keep your head on this side. So one more time, as I get here, he's kind of far away from me. I'm gonna start taking advantage, go to the opposite side. So as I was here, my head in front of his chest, okay, I drop my knee, step, pivot, hug the leg, keep my head right here. So once I'm here, connect my hands, push, and step up. Okay, watch how I use my shoulder. So you're gonna wanna use your shoulder like this. So with the shadow, I'm here holding the leg. I kind of jam my shoulder right into his upper thigh, kind of in his hip. I get him going this way. Sometimes he may be post a hand on the floor. Then I start to come back to the opposite direction. So I took him one way, I step back with that leg, and I make my chest heavy on his leg. So I'm here with his leg, I use my shoulder, and I make my chest heavy, and then I finish, okay, on top. So one more time. So the grips are the same, the finish is the same, right? The only thing different is the way he's defending. So as soon as I get here, I control, or he's controlling my sleeve, I'm gonna break. He has the grip on my collar, I break this grip. So I'm here, I'm gonna break this grip. So I push down, my elbow goes back. Head goes right here in front of his chest, and I hug, okay, his back right here. Okay, make sure you grab the gi material. I don't like to grab the belt, because sometimes the belt slides. So you can even grab like right here on his armpit, like so. Okay, whatever grip makes you feel strong to you. I like to control right here, okay? So I grab his back. He's gonna start putting the hips away from me, right? Watch how I drop my knee. So he starts circling. I circle, I come right here. I hugged his leg, so I come here. This hand's gonna be palm facing down. This hand's gonna go palm facing up. I connect my hands. Keep your thumbs close to your body, so don't grab like this. Keep your thumbs close to your hand. Connect, head forward, push off the back foot. Once I get his weight going on that leg, I can stand up. Okay, from here, 1 and 2. Heavy chest, finish nice and tight, nice and low, on top in his guard. So this next single leg setup is gonna be from standing as well. And except this time, so we saw when we make the grip, okay, on the same side of the collar, right? So the same side, so I'm going right side to his left side, okay, so the same collar. Now we're gonna see how we can use the cross collar grip, okay? So super powerful grip, okay, to make on the, to be able to manipulate your partner's posture, drag him back and forth, right? So I'm here, I'm fighting with my opponent, okay? I'm gonna start to grip on his collar, right? So a lot of times we gotta see like how, the guy's gonna try to grip me first. So sometimes I may be here, okay? I know that if I start going immediately, maybe the guy's gonna start to block and control my wrist, okay, or my sleeve, and then he's not gonna let me make this grip. So I wanna make sure that I kind of I have to either fake a grip like we saw in the first one, where I fake I'm going for the cross grip and then I come on top with this one, or I have to let him kind of grip first. So I keep my, very tight here, don't let him grab my collars, and when I see that he's going to grab, I'm going to use that, okay, and I'm going to control his dominant hand, right? He's going to try to grab with my collar with the dominant hand, so I'm going to control his hand here, and then immediately I'm going to make a grip on the same side, okay, and control the cross collar. Okay, so I have this grip here on the cross collar. So I have 4 fingers in, My grip's high, don't keep your grip low, keep your grip close to the shoulder, right? Your knuckles should be touching on his collarbone, okay? So as soon as I make this grip here, same thing. Like the way that I'm gonna make him step, okay? I'm gonna step back, okay? I'm gonna make him step forward, right? Anytime that you need to make your partner step, okay, you can use this. So if I wanna attack his right leg, okay, so on my left side, I'm gonna use this step. I'm gonna force him to step forward. So I'm gonna come this way, right? Except now, what I'm gonna do is instead of dropping down to my knee and pulling his collar down, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag his collar across my body, and at the same time, I'm gonna drop my leg in between his legs, okay, and I'm gonna drop my hip on the floor outside of his foot. So it's gonna look like this, like so, right? Stay on your knees. So as soon as I get here, right, the guy's gonna post the hands on the floor, okay? And once I get to this position, all his weight is this way. So I just hug the leg, okay? And then I start to push on the collar. So this is really important. I have my collar grip pulling. Now I'm gonna push. I connect. Watch how I bring my feet back, connect my forehead right on his ribs here, okay? I hug the leg and I push the collar and start coming up, like so, okay? Once I get here, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna start, see how I was pushing him this way? Okay, now he's gonna wanna try to turn back into me. As soon as he tries to turn back into me, I come right here, okay? So I use the grip on the collar. You see how versatile this grip is? So I started dragging him across my body. Then I push the collar away to keep his hands on the mat. Then I use it to drag him down, right? So we're here, we're standing. Once I make my cross collar grip, so I was controlling here, he tries to grip me, I block, right? Okay, I gotta get his stance kind of square. If the leg that I want to attack is too far back, this isn't gonna work as well, okay? So what I want to do is I want to start to kind of get him going this way, okay? Now watch how I'm gonna use the collar. So I'm gonna drag the collar across. So I'm coming here, I'm bringing, almost doing like a rowing motion. At the same time that I do that, I like to drop this leg in between his legs, okay? And I sit my hip, so on this, I'm almost doing like a baseball slide in between his legs. I sit my hip, my right hip on the floor outside of his leg. So it's gonna be like this. As I'm here, I make him step, right? I'm gonna drag, my leg goes in between, and I force his hands on the floor, okay? See how I'm on my right hip? So we started off dragging the collar. Now I'm gonna extend my arm here to push his head away. As I hug the leg, drag my toes into the mat, and start coming up, okay? So I get him going this way. Once he starts turning back into me, drag him down, okay? Bring your chest down, drag the collar down. So again, I'm going one way, and then immediately he comes back the other way. Okay, so let's change the angle. So we're over here, right? I make my grip, so we're here fighting. Well, maybe his legs are opposite and you don't need to make him step. So if his legs are switched, then I don't need to make him step, right? So if I'm here and I can make the grip on the collar, you can go right away. So I'm here, boom, we're fighting. As soon as I grip, now I go. My leg goes in between, my hip goes to the outside of his leg, and I drag the collar this way. Okay, so this has to be very explosive, like this. Once I get here, like I'm in the perfect position to hug his leg. As soon as I hug, watch how I push. So I went from pulling to pushing. Here, I push, hug the leg, my toes in the mat, driving him forward. Once he starts to turn back into me, that's the exact moment that I switch to this side. So I had him going that way. Now, as soon as I feel that he wants to turn back into me and face me, watch how I put my chest down and I drag this collar straight to the ground. Make it really, really hard for him to keep his base. Okay, and then I'm gonna finish right here, okay, in a strong position to pass. So, once again. So this is like a very versatile grip. The cross grip on the collar, okay? So I'm gonna drag one, then push. Don't try to pull yourself up. So sometimes what happens is, from the cross collar grip, when we drop, since we're like on our side, like kind of we're kind of almost seated, it's very common. So as soon as I'm here, I drag the collar, right? I see a lot of people, they hug the leg and they want to pull themselves up. So they kind of pull the collar. The guy naturally, he's going to want to start pushing back into me here. Okay, so if I'm pulling his collar, I'm only helping him come on top of me. What I need to do is immediately start extending the arm to keep him going that way. I make sure that all his weight is on his hands and that far leg. See how this leg over here, the one that I'm taking down, the one that I'm hugging is extended. So this means his leg's very light. So as I have my toes on the floor, my head on the ribs, and I'm driving forward with my arm, it's gonna make it very easy for me to come up. So don't try to pull yourself up because you're just gonna help him. I need to extend. So once I stand up from the extension, you can have your own collar here. You can control your own bicep. Okay, if you don't feel comfortable just hugging here. So you can control right here your own collar. Sometimes I like to control my bicep. Okay, once I come here, so I was pushing him. I was going this way. He starts to face me, and then finish on top, passing.